Hello guys, welcome back, Bushcraft family, with another video. And I came across this not too long ago, and it reminded me of something I heard many years ago. And as I listened to it again, I had this eerie feeling of, boy, this guy was right on the dot. And who I'm talking about is some of us older folks will remember Paul Harvey. He used to give speeches and he would talk at different events and things like that. But one of the most iconic ones was, "If I was the devil." I'm going to play this for you. Hopefully I do not get in trouble for doing so. But I think it's very important. And then afterwards we'll have a small conversation about it. So hang on.
If I were the devil. If I were the devil. If I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. Thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, "Do as you please." To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, "Our Father, which art in Washington." And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Yeah. Told you. It's eerie, isn't it? Yeah. If I Was the Devil by Paul Harvey. A lot of interesting things we'll put in there probably one of the most important ones out of all of it is I will remove religion from schools and from the government. As you may know, I've said it before, I think that has been probably the most important thing that has ran our country into the ground as of now. And it's been going that way slowly. As you see, our schools, we have metal detectors. Talks about the media. I will create a media frenzy. Yep. And everybody will believe anything the media says. I mean, you would sit there and think that this is something that just came out. This is a recording from 1965. Yeah, 1965. And he was pretty much dead on about all the things that he talked about. Churches fighting with each other, communities fighting with each other, countries fighting within each other. Pretty much dead on. But why don't you guys tell me what you think? Do you think that Paul Harvey knew something we didn't know? Did he have a vision of the future? Or did he just see where things were going from 1965? I don't remember when there was a ruckus, call it a ruckus, on when to remove religion from schools. I'm thinking it's in the 70s. Because I remember saying a prayer before class. We used to say prayers lunchtime, and nowadays you're ridiculed or made fun of and stuff when you're caught, praying and stuff. And I talked about this the other day, where I went into a place, Amish place, and these younger folks were making fun of this lady who was praying before she ate. And that's where it's getting down to. We're going to be, the person who prays. And you go to these colleges and things now, and they get in big crowds, and they talk amongst themselves and say, there's no such thing as God. The Bible is made up. Jesus was a salesman, or a con artist and whatnot. There's no proof, and this and that and the other, trying to prove that there is no religion. Why are they trying so hard to prove it? If you don't believe, move along. Let the other people figure it out for themselves. Anyways, guys, I just thought this was something very interesting to listen to, and please post in the comments down below of your thoughts of his little speech. Until next time, like always, God bless.